All right, welcome back to Sunday Morning Larry. Summertime, I'm out here in the garage. I'm gonna put on my sweet work apron that I got from my brother-in-law. Shout out to Sufir, thank you very much. Let me put this on. Get my microphone squared away. Today, I'm gonna make a mount for a mount. Okay, no, that makes no sense. I recently inherited from my late father-in-law a sweet game trophy that he took at some point in his life. This sweet whitetail. It's a shoulder mount. This was in our house when I was growing up, so my dad probably hunted this when before I was born. So in removing it, it's just got this hole to mount it on, and that's really awkward to mount. It turns out that the house I grew up in, basically, there was essentially like a wood dowel just sticking out of the wall, and it would hang like that. Well, that's not how my house is built. So today, I'm going to make a little bracket to go on here to hold it, and let me explain what that's going to look like. So that trophy is not very heavy. You know, it probably weighs 10, 15 pounds, maybe. So it's really not a big issue for drywall to hold it up if you have it mounted properly. And one of my favorite types of mounts for things that are 50 pounds or less is one of these guys. So you screw this plastic bit into the wall. There's actually threads there. Actually, let me go. These are the greatest things for mounting, in my opinion, for mounting my typical things. So you just drive it with a regular Phillips head screwdriver. It seats into the wall, and then you put whatever kind of screw you want, something like this. So really super straightforward. The trick is that isn't going to hold up that head. So it's really common on taxidermy mounts like this to have a metal plate on the back that's just like really a simple kind of shape like this, and literally the metal lip will just hook over over the head of a screw. So it's really not fancy. You drive this into the wall, and then you just lay the head on there. And I mean, obviously, it's not gonna work in a wind or when people are bumping it, but no one bumps trophies, and the trophy is heavy enough to make it stable. So I don't have one of those pieces of metal. Also, I've recently been on a tighter budget, so I'm going to try to make something today. And so what I realized is I have a bunch of old hinges that I'm never going to use, and I bet I could grind on those and make the shape that I want. So here's a hinge. In my toolbox, or in my parts box, like every good parts person, I've got a random thing of that. I've got some random parts in here, and what I've come up with two things. I've come up with this hinge, which I feel like I could just take apart this hinge and use some of this metal, and I could screw this onto that wood. Alternatively, I have this guy, which I could also shape. It's a little bit more awkward. It's not totally flat, but again, it's going on the back of this trophy. It really doesn't matter what it is. It just has to have, the key bit is having some kind of lip where that could hook on. And so the idea is just to cut a little notch there where this would sit in. So I think I'm going to try it with this guy, and because it's going to involve more grinding, which but essentially, if I drew this out, it literally, so I'm literally going to cut it there to get rid of the hinge part, and then I'm going to just cut this V in it, and the head of that screw will just sit in the V. And because it's not that heavy and it's not like a application with movement, it should be fine. So I'm gonna try it. Okay, here we go. I got my hinge, I got my punch, I got my hammer. So let's disconnect this. Well, that's clearly not working. All right, well, we will just cut it off then. Got my cutoff wheel here. Oh, it's facing the wrong way. It's going to shoot those sparks right into my face. Son of a nutcracker. That's hot. Here we go. All right. Now we just need to cut that B. That should work. All right, I'm just going to clean it up a little bit. All right, it's not the smoothest, but it's good enough. Okay, so this is the original hole. I'm going to mount this guy right here. So I'll probably do a pilot hole there and a pilot hole here, and then just drill a hole here to make way for the head of the screw. All right, so y'all ever use one of these? These are just great. They're just like really sharp point, and they're great for marking stuff. So, all right, let's just mark the dead center of it. And we can do a little pilot hole for our screws. And man, I really can't see. All right, fine. Let's do a marker. We do our pilot holes right. That's where our thing will be. Okay. So we want to pick the right size for that. So it doesn't have to be, you can see this is self-tapping, actually. You see that little cutout right there? That means this is a self-tapping screw. So the pilot hole is not super important. So I want to go with something that's like slightly narrower than the shaft of this. So that looks like my 3/32. So. Okay, the other thing I want to do is I want to make sure that when I hook this under this, you see how it sticks out behind? That's got to fit into there. If I just put this on there right now, I wouldn't be able to hook the screw on. So I'm going to make a hole that big right behind this. Again, it's not a heavy application, so it really doesn't matter if I really screw up this piece of wood. It's not like I'm weakening it. Let's go to our handy screw size picker. So let's just be really sure that it's bigger. So I'm going to go with this 3/8 inch. That'll be fun. And then I'm also, where the heck did I put that one tool? Yep, here we go with my pokey marker guy. Tell me in the comments if you know the name of this. I'm going to mark the center of that so that I do it with enough space. By the way, it's really hot here in my unair conditioned garage. There we go. Nice. Oops. Oh no, I messed it up. It definitely, you can't see it, but this definitely won't work. Boom. Okay, that'll do. Let's go inside and try it. Okay, you can see, I don't know if you can see that on this. There's the board of attempts, but this is where I'm trying to get it. This is kind of a cool spot in our house. Nice wall. I really want them to be like right there. I think that'll look really nice. So what I'm going to do is just measure to make sure this is in the center. What I'm going to do is I am going to just drive this guy right in here. There we go. And then I'm going to do this guy right into it. Pretty straightforward. Leaving, I left about a 1/4 inch out. Ta-da. So yeah, I had to pull it out quite a bit. So there's about a 1/2 inch sticking out, but there we go. Pretty exciting, and makes for a nice little entryway. I've got a little table here. Got to get rid of that thing. Put that away. But now we have a cool entryway with my dad's old trophy. And don't look those other blemishes on the wall. We'll take care of those some other time. All right. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.